What's up, Big Blue Nation? It's your boy Bradley B-Roll back in the building. And every week, I have a guest on. Normally it's basketball, but guess what? I have a football player, former football player. LaRod King is on joining me, man. How are you doing?
Man, what's up, man? I'm doing well, man. I'm alive. I'm still kicking, man. So I can't complain at all, man. God is good.
Well, good. I'm glad you're on with me, man. Before we got on, we was kind of chat, man. We have a little bit of bad news, man. You caught the coronavirus and you're still recovering, man. Talk to me about that, man. I know it's been a struggle for you.
For sure, man. Yeah, man. Unfortunately, I did. It's one of those things that, life just happens, and I didn't expect for it to happen. I wasn't prepared for it. Just hit me out of nowhere. But I'll say that, I'm glad I have a great support system. Shout out to my wife. She's amazing, man. Without her, I don't really know where I'll be at. But yeah, man. The first couple of days was the worst. I don't know. I think I'm like week 2, somewhere around there. I was losing track of days, looking at the walls. I've been quarantined, y'all. So, but the first couple of days, man, fever, body aches, cold chills. I'm talking about I was on covers shaking for like 5 hours straight. I'm like, yo, baby, something ain't right. Something ain't right. And then sure enough, I drive to go get it tested. Man, I swear I'm driving on the road, Bradley, man. I'm feeling every bump, every rock. I'm like, yo, my body's about to fall off. Like my arm's about to fall off or something, man. For real. So, but thank God I beat that part, man. But now I'm just trying to get my strength back. So if I run out of breath, y'all, I'm sorry. Trying to just catch up, man. Having long conversations can make you winded sometimes. But I've been doing better though, man. I'm in high spirits. Uh, I try to document my journey to help others out there and just let them know that like you're not alone if you do end up catching this, but it's one of those things to where it's a world pandemic and we got to be together because, despite everything going on in the world today, the one thing that makes us human, if there was ever a clear reminder, is the coronavirus. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter if you black, white, purple, orange, you got lungs, you got a heart, hey, guess what? It can get to you. So, man, and, so despite all the things that are dividing us, there's still some good in the tragedy.
Well, I'm glad that you're able to kind of tell your story and be with us. Obviously, we want to wish you, better health. Hope you make a full recovery. I guess,
Mm.
in doing, getting the coronavirus, you were out there, protesting, doing the Black Lives Matter. You were really stepping up for the community. I saw some of your videos on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. Just talk about being out there in that presence and how important it was for you to be out there and I guess express your feelings on the whole matter.
For sure, man. Well, one, it's a beautiful thing, but I'm sad that it had to come out on terms like this. You know what I mean? And I say that I just want to explain a little bit. So, like, when people say Black Lives Matter, it's not an attack of saying only Black people matter. It's not that. It's the fact that we're still fighting social injustice, and the whole concept is just to raise awareness that there is a problem going on. And I've told people multiple times, like, think about the fact, why do we even have to say Black Lives Matter? Is yes, all lives matter, which they all, period. If you're alive, you're breathing, you're a human, you're alive, and that's the only thing we want to be looked at as a human. You know what I'm saying? And um, that's the message we're trying to get across. But I would tell you, I've been surprised, being here in Louisville, half the protesters don't look like me. Half the protesters are white. And I'm looking like, do you know why you're out here? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you know how dangerous it is for you to be out here? Because now you have a sense of what it feels like to be the minority, outside of, and I was telling one of my good friends, his name is Thomas Strauss. He was one of my tutors at UK. And he's been with me through the front lines, man, just understanding. He's soaking up all the knowledge and all the information that's happening and that's going on around him. And let me close this door real quick. And one of those things is like, he gets to see and understand that if we like once I took that jersey off, from playing on that field, this is the reality that we have to face day in, day out. And I say that to let them know, like, this is real. Like, this is real feelings. This is reality, man. But it's also a humbling experience to be able to be out there and understand that I on my platform that I've used from football and being able to have the opportunity, like, I'm truly blessed to be able to do that. So anybody who has a position, right, of not necessarily power, but I'm gonna say influence, Like, you need to be out there, man, and understanding that there is a problem, especially if you have friends that are of color. Because, man, there's plenty of examples I could say, you
Yeah.
know, but
Right.
um, you know, I will say I am proud of how the university has handled it. I'm super proud of Mark Stoops for going out there, putting himself out there, because just as many boosters and people there are with money who support it, there's just as many who don't support it. You know what I'm saying? And it's a teaching thing, man. It's an educational thing. It's actually understanding, you know. But the one thing that I will say that bothered me the most is the hesitant, like not just UK, but just with all NCAA sports platforms across the world. It's like, man, if you can allow African Americans to come into your industry, make you all this money, bring you all this likeness, but then when it's time to have our backs, i.e. Colin Kaepernick, you ridicule them, you know what I'm saying? You try to put them on a chopper block, and that's not cool, man, because we're not taking the time to sit down and understand. Everybody's so sensitive to issues. It's like, okay, let's learn about the issue. Let's understand the issue. Now let me remove my emotions from it and let me make a logical decision. Do I agree with this? Or do I not agree with it? And it's okay to be on the other side, you know, one side or the other. Just understand why you disagree or why you agree. And simple as that, man. And that's where it really comes down to. So the protest has been amazing, but the whole point, you know, is to support Breonna Taylor and their family, what they're going through. Because once you lose somebody, man, ain't no coming back from that, man. And just under the circumstances of what we've been seeing, the evidence that we've been seeing, and how, you know, all the stuff that's coming out with the police. Like, I can go into that. I mean, you can go do your own research on that, but it's just like, man, that could have been me. You know, me and my wife in here chilling, relaxing, sleep, baby girl in the crib, and bust in because I look like a suspect. It's my first time growing dreads, you know, because I just wanted to grow my hair out. And, you know, you should be surprised some of the looks. I go to the grocery store, man, and it's one of those things to where it's like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna say. It's this tall black guy with dreads. He looks intimidating. But once you have a conversation with me, now we're talking. I was like, oh, you're pretty cool. You're not like them. I'm like, what's that mean? You know what I'm saying? What's that mean? And it's a whole, you know, a whole nother thing. But I will say, man, I'm proud of everybody who's been out there protesting and standing up for what's right. So appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I agree. I'm 100% back you up on that. Yeah, I mean, I think that so many people are not educated on the situation. You know, obviously we got thousands of new news outlets giving you one thing, and you know, a president telling you another thing, and then you're hearing from your friends another thing. So I can see there's a lot of confusion going on out there, but that's why we protest. That's why we try to educate people on it. We have, you know, discussions like this, and we try to move forward. And I guess moving on, we're going to talk a little bit more about your football career. You know, before you got to UK,
Mm-hmm.
you were at North Hardin. You know, you were a Radcliffe guy. Played football
Yeah,
there.
North.
You were like Mr. Everybody. You know, you played quarterback, you played wide receiver, you played safety. You were doing it all. Just talk about your high school days, man. You know, playing football at Radcliffe.
Man, high school was beautiful, man. It was a lot of fun. A lot of guys, man. I thank God for my teammates, man. Just being able to have that bond and helping each other push each other to the next level. Because I say without them, you know what I'm saying, they're beating on me. So extreme shout out to those guys, man. But yeah, man, it was fun. I truly enjoyed it. I didn't really know what I was doing, played all those positions, you know. But I was just having fun, man, just being an athlete, you know, just out there, just enjoying the game, because that was my escape from life, from reality, you know. So when I took off the helmet and the jersey, you got to face like real life issues. But when you're on the field, man, no, none of that matter no more. It's just the competition in the game and the camaraderie that you get to spend, you know, with your brothers, no matter what color, race, religion you come from. And that was the cool thing, man. And that's why I think sports is such a huge platform, such a huge and a great platform to use, because like, yo, when you on the field, man, your teammate, that's your teammate. That's it. There's nothing else. There's nothing else you see, nothing else you worried about. And I think at an early age, you know, that taught us that, man. And me being a military brat and coming to Radcliffe, where it's like half military, half, you know, Kentuckians, if you want to call it that. But like, you know, you're able to bring that different culture to the environment and be able to adjust and have fun. And the beauty of it, man, is just having fun, dog. That's all it is, having fun and enjoying life. Man. So definitely cool.
Yeah, I mean, what was your recruiting process? I know you obviously you committed to UK, you played there. Did you have some
Mhm.
other schools that you were looking into, you know, before you thought about, you know, Kentucky?
Man, honestly, Louisville offered me first, man.
Okay.
My guy Greg Nord, he actually ended up coaching tight ends with us. They went to my junior year. We had a lot of coach changes during my time, but Greg Nor, he's working for Louisville at the time, man, offered me first, but I said no because they had a lot of stuff going on with Petrino, whatever his name is. They
Trino.
had a lot of stuff going on, man. I was like, dog, I really don't want no parts of that, man. And I ended up saying no, man. And then I want to say Joker called me. Joker Phillips had called me and got in touch with me. And my mom, man, she's been pushing me for UK forever. She's been a UK fan since I can remember. Because honestly, I had no intentions of going to play football, no nothing with college. I was gonna go to the military because that's what I knew. I grew up in it. But then when I realized how big college sports was, like I didn't know nothing about college sports until my junior year of high school, and I started paying attention. And I was like, oh snap! I just do it because it helps me get through life. You know, my anxiety and stress. I can just go play football. I can go hit somebody. I can go, whatever. And but then I started looking at the opportunities that was available to me, and so from there I started taking it a little bit more seriously. And yeah, man, and I took a visit to UK, and that was pretty much. I met Coach Brooks, man, had a conversation. We kicking it, and here's this old white dude who don't know me from a hill of beans, but he made me feel like family. You know what I'm saying? It was just a conversation of us being to sit down and just talk like real life, man. And he let me know what was up, and then I ended up talking to Andre Woodson. You know, he's from Radcliffe. He kind of paved the way, and Dre told me, he said, "Man, do you want to create your legacy, or do you want to follow someone's footsteps?" And that always resonated with me because different schools, all of a sudden you could offer, you get one D1 Division One offer, and all of a sudden you can flood. And I was like, okay, dang, but one thing I wish I would have done though, I would say I wish I would have went out and just went and visited some different schools just to experience it. But man, I'll tell you, after the conversation with Coach Brooks, man, I was like, yeah, this is it. Like he's a cool dude, and I will go to war for him. You know what I'm saying? Just real cool dude. So yeah.
Yeah, and early on, man, you got playing time. You're a freshman, you came in, you played 11 games, man. You make some catches. Each year, you got better. Even though I know that as a team, you all were struggling, but you got better. You had over 1,000, career passing yards. You know what I'm saying? Probably I think 1,600 if I did my research right now for sure. But you had a lot of success. Let's talk about your development at UK once you got on campus.
Man, definitely, man. I'll tell you. So my freshman year, not even my freshman year, when I was getting recruited, and no shade to all my other teammates, I love them to death, man. But I walked in with it was a blue and white game. I'm on the sidelines, I'm looking, and I'm like, okay, cocky. I don't know if it's a cockiness. I'm just like, man, I know I'm better than them. I know I am. I know I can do more. I know I can offer more. And it was just the mentality I had. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to be the best. I wanted to outwork those around me. And my freshman year coming in, I wanted to be the best, so I know how to be around the best. So the first person I go attach myself to is Randall Cobb. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, he's the go-to dude. I need to be on his hip because I need to see what he's doing so I can try to match what he has going on and then some. Right, and then you bring in Chris Matthews, who's one of the greatest receivers of all time, in my opinion. Man, I ain't never seen a dude work that hard, and you bring the heart and the grit of everybody in that. So I just wanted to be surrounded by that, man. So that was my first initial thought. And my freshman year, I really didn't expect to get a lot of playing time. I had no idea because I'm looking at these guys like, man, they so much more talented than I am based off experience, but I started learning more too because like some high schools, like they prepare their students, to be on that one class. Like, hey, you're gonna be a quarterback or you're gonna be a running back, and they can teach you so you can groom you. Those programs like that, those are, really dope programs. With my high school was just like, all right, you athletic, bro. All right, you about to play any position around here. You're gonna have to figure it out. But it was one of those things that I had to be a sponge, and I just took a lot of time just learning, right? But the cool thing about my experience was that I was able to learn from experience, not just watching film. It's a difference when you actually in the game and you got to line up against a Joe Hayden as a freshman, you know what I'm saying, and a Ahmad Black as a freshman, a Javier Arenas, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, golly, man, these dudes is serious, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, though, those humbling experiences, humbling beginnings prepared me for what was to come. So each year, it was okay. You got to do your best to be at to perform at your top level. But then the real catch is you got to be able to bring people up with you. You can't do it by yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's where as a team we struggle. I would say that in between the times because our leadership from within wasn't all the way right. And from the top down, when you're doing all these changes, these last minute, it was hard to find that trust, to find that groove, and find that niche. And that's what you got to do. You got to elevate yourself, but more importantly, you got to elevate those around you.
So you played for Joker Phillips. You know, he was kind of like the player coach type guy. I know he got a lot of flack when he was there because, you know, obviously the win column wasn't there. Just talk about Joker Phillips playing for him and as a coach and what kind of relationship I guess you had with him. Obviously he recruited you, but let's talk about the relationship you had with Coach Phillips.
So being honest, man, I love Coach Phillips, man. Great dude. At first, I was a knucklehead, so we bumped heads my freshman year a couple of times, man. And it was just more so when somebody sees a lot of potential in you and they're trying to pull it out of you, you don't see it. We as humans, we like to fight change, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been doing great, this whole time, but not knowing that you can do more. You know, and he was that guy to push you, relate to, and it's different. Okay, what'd you say? If it was a white boy, a white coach talking to a white boy, it's different. You know, when a black coach talking to a black kid, it's just different. And, so my relationship with Coach Brooks and then with Coach Joker, it was totally different. But, man, great guy, man. I can't say nothing, negative about him, man. He always had our back no matter how hard-headed we were. Was always there to push us. Now, there was some, decisions that he done that I didn't agree with necessarily. But, that wasn't our place as players to make those calls. You know what I'm saying? We just got to trust the leadership. But it's hard to develop when you don't feel like you have the necessary leadership in place, but not knowing that we needed to be those leaders, but we're looking up to our leaders to make us leaders. But it's like we got to make ourselves leaders. And that was a message he was trying to get across constantly. But again, it's hard when not only do you have coaching changes, then you got players and injuries and just unfortunate circumstances just happening. And and I don't, but I was, with what we're seeing now, with the social injustice and all that stuff like that, I'm pretty sure somehow, some level, especially being at UK, keeping it all the way real, there was some type of pressure of that feeling there, on his head with that going on, because that definitely plays a part. It definitely plays a part. And mentally wise, again, it's a lot. It's mental stress, man. It's a lot of mental that goes into that. But like we were too immature to handle that type of pressure, to understand what that was or what he was going through. I'm not saying an excuse or anything, but it's just like I know now, just being behind the scenes, there's a lot more that comes with it. But Joker, man, love him to death. If you ever need anything, man, I'll be there for him.
Yeah, I want to say, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think your senior year, when y'all played Tennessee, LaRod was your quarterback, and
junior year, yeah.
Your junior year, you all won, putting a receiver at quarterback, which now you see that happening with Coach Stoops playing Lynn Bowden at quarterback. I guess during that time, I remember being at that game. I think they actually even lifted Joker off the field. You guys carried him off the field, Just talk about that game, man. It was pretty historic game. I remember being there thinking, like, are they ever going to pull us off, and never threw a pass pretty much. It's kind of everything was a hand-off run, what I'm saying? That's kind of crazy.
Man, dog, definitely one of the best feelings ever, because we didn't have a clue, dog, of how we was going to pull this off. I'll be honest with you, because every single one of our quarterbacks are hurt. And it's like, dog. And Matt just like, yeah, I played a little quarterback in high school. Like, bro, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, and but you got it done, man. But real talk, somebody who was overlooked due to a couple of injuries, man, was my guy, Coach Williams. He was running back. He's still working out. I'm on to this day. I mean, looks like he could play right now, man. And probably getting ready to play somewhere. I don't know, but he was literally like the hidden gem in that game. And it is one of those guys that never had the right opportunity to shine, but he did that game. It was just overlooked because it was Tennessee, and with the 26 years, straight they had beat us, man. After a while, you get tired. Ain't nothing worse Tennessee fans. I got some friends from Tennessee fans, but ain't nothing worse than that fan base, dog. We always ready to fight, man. Y'all just know how to push buttons, dog. And, it was always a fight, man. Like, for real, always a fight. But man, just going through that game, man, it was one of those things to where, um, we have been through a lot that season. Like I said, lost a lot of great players and came up short in a couple of games that we knew we just should have won. But to be able to put all the last minute pieces together, come together, and shout out to the coaching staff for being able to believe in the process, man, and just make it work. It took a complete team effort to get that done, and anytime you playing a Tennessee or Louisville at the in-state rival games, man, trust me, there's so much more dirt behind the scenes that y'all don't know to be going on, man. I'm serious, man. They be pulling up to your apartment and you be like, how the heck? Dog, it was crazy, man. So, but it was one of those things that uh, as a team, man, we understood what was at stake. And again, for the love of Joker, man, because we understood what he was going through. And we felt bad because like, now we feel like we let you down, especially as a black man to a black man. There's not a lot of black coaches in the NCAA or in the NFL. I'm keeping it spade and keep it real. There's just not a lot of opportunity, and it's like we just understood the importance of that, man, and we just felt like we had let them down deeper than the surface of just football. So it was one of those things that it was like, okay, man, we really wanted to pull something out of nothing, and we did it, and that was dope, really dope.
Yeah, that was a big moment, and it was kind of a turning point that Kentucky started to believe that even the players as the fans, and obviously once Joker left, they brought in Coach Stoops. He kind of changed the program. I guess you talked about him earlier. I'm gonna get your thoughts on Coach Stoops, and it finally looked like they kind of invested a little bit into the program, getting new facilities, weight room, all this stuff. Talk about the job you think that Coach Stoops has done since he's been there.
Phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal because he's been through every single emotion you can think of right now, man. Taking over a new program, having a little bit of lows coming out, people like, we don't know. And it's so crazy, man. When you first start a business, you start anything, how many people start hating, man, and doubting on you, but that's that fuel you got to turn into, you put it into your gas tank, you know what I'm saying? And take all that and bottle it up and never forget. Because once it started turning around and once people started really believing it, it takes a little time to get to understand, what your vision is. But once he did, it just took off. And I'll never forget, man, my guy Bud Dupree, and I saw the transformation in Bud within that first year. I'm like, okay, something crazy about to happen, because it's one of those things to where I talk to some of the young guys, whatever, and they said, one of the things Coach Stoops had alluded to is like, look, if you don't like my program, you can leave. And that's, I love that. You being firm and it's just being real. I'm telling you up front, if you don't fit this program, then you can leave. And it's one of those things that you got to understand for yourself. Is this something that you really want to do? Can you adjust to this? And if it's not, then cool. But if it is, okay, I need you to be humble enough to understand you don't know everything. And I got to teach you some things. And
Mm-hmm.
so once you learn and you're willing to learn, now you can grow and get to that next level. And Stoops, man, again, kudos to you, man. Like I said, stepping on the front line, understanding that it's deeper than football. Like when you get out on the streets on that front line and you supporting from that aspect, you understand that after, like again, when these kids take these, I call them kids, but when you take that jersey off, man, I'm still here for you. I'm still here for you. And that says a lot, man. So like my respect for Coach Stoops literally out the window, man. Like he's done a lot, man. And I commend him for his success. I wish him nothing but more success. And I'm super proud of him, man, for real.
Yeah, I think he's done a heck of a job there, and I think, like you said, he took a lot of early on. People didn't really believe, but turning the football program around, it takes a few years. It ain't gonna happen like basketball. What Coach Cal can do, it's gonna take a few years to get your guys in there, your coaching staff, all that. It takes a while, and so he's finally done that, and I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see the people backing him up. And I guess before had your health issues and stuff, you were I would see you on Instagram doing push-ups, challenging people, making
Yeah, man.
smoothie drinks and all that, man. I guess tell me what you were doing, man, because like people probably don't know you were out there just being healthy, challenging people. Tell me what you had going on, man. It looked like it was very inspiring to people.
Definitely, man. So I actually I left my 9 to 5 because I just wanted to see what I was capable of. At the time, I was super depressed. Just because when football ended, man, I was like, what do I want to do with my life? I need to figure this out. And working for somebody else just did not sit right with me because I just kept felt like I'm living somebody else's dream. So I want to create my own. So another teammate of ours, his name is EJ Fields. He's out of Frankfort, Kentucky. He started with Herbalife, which is the number one nutrition company in the world. And I'll never forget, man. It was like 4 years ago now. Man, what is this, man? Like, what are you doing? Like, you want me to make smoothies, bro? Like, you want me to make a shake? He was like, yeah, man, just try it out. I was like, EJ, dog, like, you want me to make shakes, bro? You know what I'm saying? And he was like, okay. He's like, okay. He's like, man, just try it. I was like, okay, cool. So I ended up trying it, man, and I fell in love with it instantly. It just made me feel so good, man, because all the shakes are super healthy for you, super natural, and I was like, man, this is really good. So I got off the product for a second, and then all of a sudden I started feeling bad again. I was like, yo, so I called him up. I said, EJ, man, like I'm about to move back to Louisville from Atlanta. My wife is pregnant, we're about to have a baby, and I just want to feel good, man. I want to feel good. And he was like, all right, cool. So I get back to Louisville and I just took it on head on, man, and became a full independent Herbalife distributor. I just had my shop, Health Quest Nutrition, out in Crestwood, Kentucky. I'm thinking about relocating that, man, getting that back up and running because COVID hit. But we got 40 plus shops here in Kentucky, man, and it's just amazing, man. You just feel great. I just want to help people be the best version of themselves, man, whether it's physically, mentally, or emotionally. And we're able to just have these conversations and just speak life into people, man, because every single person on this earth, man, is special somehow, some way. Because one thing that makes us all on the same playing field is that we all overcame the process of birth, right? Because not everybody makes it past birth. So, like, we all have that one thing in common. So that's the thing that we need to build from, man, is that, like, when you're going through life, right, and you go through a traumatic experience, there at some point in you, you gotta die, and then you gotta rebirth yourself. You know what I'm saying? To recreate yourself, and you're doing that constantly all the time. You just don't really realize it. But like some mistakes you've made, they're a mistake. That means you don't do it no more. So it's the depth of that. Okay, I know I don't need to turn left where it says danger. I need to turn right where it says detour. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I just want to help people just be the best version of themselves. Because once you go out and you start being the best version of yourself, you start attracting people who are doing the same. And now our conversations are always uplifting and always positive versus, what they say, misery likes company. You don't want to be around that 24 hours, man, because then you just start having that little cloud that just won't go away no matter what you do. And after a while, that gets exhausting, man. So we want to be able to uplift that, put some sunshine out there, man, and just help people live a better, healthier lifestyle, man.
Well, look, you know what, man? You just inspired me with that little speech you had there. So I'm gonna run through a brick wall for you right now. It's good because I did the same thing. I started my own production company, and it's been the best thing ever happened. I get to spend more time with my wife and my kids, and I definitely love it. It's been all good, man. It's definitely good to be out there doing something you love, and I appreciate what you're doing. I want to say, man, hey, look, I want to say thank you for joining me, man. It's always good to catch up with you. Because I follow you on Instagram. I look at all your stories on there. It's fun. I love you when you were playing, football at UK. I definitely covered you. You were one of my favorites there. I always wanted to be 6'4", but I couldn't be blessed with that height. So, I want to wish you well, man. I hope you get the feeling better because, like I said, this coronavirus is definitely serious, and hopefully you can, have a full recovery.
Thank you. I definitely appreciate it, man. Thank you for reaching out, man. You're like family to me. Anything you need, hit me up, man. I got you. And keep doing your thing, man. This is really cool, man. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.